two-way destroyer who flat-out controls games, Danny Granger and the Indiana Pacers go up against the Boston Celtics and their unstoppably fast phenom at the point, Rajon Rondo. Pacers, Celtics, up next.
And 2 games. Sports. Welcome. Welcomes you to the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg. Glad to have you on board. Live from the Northeast in Boston, Massachusetts, the Celtic fans getting ready to go. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Joedirt is out there with Tyler Hansbrough and Gallison. And for Boston, Garnett out there with Pierce. Then it's Allen. Then there's Shaquille O'Neal and Robinson. Here is Hansbrough. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, rookie Paul George wasn't a big-name prospect going into last season at Fresno State. He said, I think that definitely gives me the edge. I always play with a chip on my shoulder, being the underdog, being a guy that's not high profile. That's where I get most of my fight from. He has the talent to be special, guys. We'll see if he uses that edge.
Thank you, Doris. We get a look at the Pacers here. What does this team need to do to get on top?
I think they need another star next to Danny Granger, and they need the continued development of young players. Brandon Rush, Roy Hibbert, and certainly a good play at the point guard position would help also. Looks like they switched to man, D, here.
So it's Indiana now. Outside Collison. And here's Hansbrough. From 20 feet out. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Here is Robinson. Picked up by Collison. Here's Shaq. No good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. And Clark, to that point, they have a lot of guys that are solid role players.
So if they could get, if they could get Granger a little help, stay healthy, and see the continued development of a guy like Roy Hibbert, who I think is going to be a really solid offensive center throughout his career, the Pacers will have a chance to maybe sneak into the playoffs.
Clark, you got to play great basketball in your own conference, and for the Celtics, well, they came away with 33 wins against the East last season.
Well, that's about what you'd expect from them, Kevin, given their talent and experience. I mean, anything less than 30 wins in that conference with their roster, you'd have to be disappointed in that.
Here's Allen, and that's good, laying it in.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Got that bucket in no time. Time at all. He's got 6.
The fast break left the defense discombobulated. As a result, he had the open 3.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I was was able to talk with Jim O'Brien for a minute. He thinks the biggest battle for them is simply finding the space to operate effectively on offense. He said this is a team that plays so tight defensively that you can feel like you don't have room to breathe. The only way to exploit that is with motion off the ball and efficient passing. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Doris. Clark, so much for advanced scouting.
Sometimes that's a false prophecy, though, and you have to adjust to what the other team is coming out and running.
Now Hansbrough following Ray Allen's three-point attempt. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Here's Allen. He has 5. Over Hansbrough. Allen's shot is off. Deflected. The Pacers off to a quick start here. It's a 5-point game. And Hansbrough slams it in.
That's really a terrific look inside. Set him up beautifully.
Allen outside. Off the pick. The shot by Pierce will not go.
The D served it up on the platter, and he still wasn't able to convert. He's got to be disappointed. Kevin, they're fighting extremely hard right here, bit by bit, just trying to pull away.
Here's Robinson. The tray, that's good. Robinson's got his first 3 points of the game.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Here's Hibbert. Takes it up. Goes up. And that's good on the layup.
And right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
Celtics give up possession. And Indiana has possession. They're leading by 8. On the wing, Granger. Can't extend the lead to double digits. Looking at Danny Granger, a great wing player taken out of New Mexico, taken number 17, in fact, by the Indiana Pacers, Clark, back in 2005.
Boy, and that's a great value at that pick, Kevin. I mean, he's turned into their franchise player. 2 seasons ago was his big breakthrough. He was an all-star. They run their offense through him, and he's responded, finishing 5th in the league in scoring.
Celtics trail by 8. Outside, Robinson. Allen passes to Robinson. Takes it up. Cannot hit.
That was a high degree of difficulty on that shot. Whenever the defense can make you change your shot at the last moment, it's never easy.
With age comes wear and tear, and the Celtics experienced some of those injuries when you look at last season, Garnett and Pierce having knee issues. But you know what, Clark? Even youngsters on their team got banged up. Big baby Glenn Davis, he had a thumb injury, a broken thumb. He had an ankle injury. I mean, health is such a big issue for young and old.
Yeah, that's just part of the game, Kevin. You hope that you're fortunate as a team not to have crippling injuries to key players. And Rondo's hamstring, I think a part of it is just playing in a tough division. And another part is certainly age. That's a factor. But you can't say that for guys like Rondo and even Big Baby Davis.
Boston on D, trailing by 5. Granger, guarded by Robinson. And the basket by Collison.
That's where you want to be getting the majority of your shots from on offense.
Clark, you mentioned health last year for the Celtics. Health has to be a concern for them again this year, too.
Without question. It's a matter of the coaching staff and the players massaging their minutes, taking care of their bodies, and doing the things necessary to be ready come postseason time.
Now Hibbert, following Ray Allen's three-point attempt. It's dumped off. Collison. Here's George. And the rebound goes to Nate Robinson. For 3. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in.
Right now being held without a point in this quarter. Goose egg. Really struggling to...
Now the second quarter about to start. Here's Robinson. And so in the game for the Pacers. Danny Granger and Tyler Hansbrough make up the forwards. Then it's Roy Hibbert. And there's Collison. And Jack backs down. Back to Allen. Here is Collison. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, Rajon Rondo hinted back in February of last season that there was turmoil in the Celtics locker room. He said every guy had to look in the mirror and had to hold themselves accountable. We've got to be a team with no agendas. In the locker room, you could feel it. You don't feel like it's the same continuity and camaraderie in the locker room as it was the first year. We've got to find a way to get that back. Guys, going into the playoffs, they seem to pull themselves together. We'll see if that continues into this season.
Thank you, Doris. And young Rajon Rondo has spoken.
Kevin, I like what he's doing. I mean, you're the point guard. You're the future of this franchise. He didn't call out anybody specifically. He's just saying we lost something. And now we've got to find a way to get it back.
And the Celtics making a change here.
Rondo broke the season records for both steals and assists by a Celtic last season. He was 8th in double-doubles, tied for 2nd in triple-doubles. He is what I call a stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Here is Collison. Here's Hansbrough. And again, it's Indiana converting. And Rondo, you know, you look at him, Clark, and where he was taken back in the 2006 draft, 21st overall out of the University of Kentucky. You were saying he, grew up in Louisville. How did so many teams miss out on that guy?
Well, Kevin, I always say the draft is more art than science, and perhaps some concerns about his lack of a perimeter jump shot. Any number of things could have led to him being drafted where he was. The good thing about it is, though, draft position has no bearing on what your career is going to look like.
Hansbrough with the ball. Covered by Perkins. Shoots it. Hansbrough misses.
No defense there to bother the shot, and he still misfired. His coach does not look happy. The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it.
Here's Allen. He's got 12. A three. Can't get it to go. Pacers leading by 8. Cuts off the pass.
You should leave those long bomb passes alone.
Pass to Rondo. Picked up by Collison. Here's Collison. 2:41 left in the half. Tipped.
You certainly haven't been very good here in the quarter in regards to protecting the ball, Kevin.
We've seen them with a lot of good ball movement.
That's exactly the way to play. The fans love it. It's fun for the players. I love it. And more importantly, it's tough to defend.
Now here's Granger. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Shot's good. And here's Rondo. 9-point game. Perkins with it. Picked up by Collison.
And you look at what they've done, or rather what they haven't done, it's hold on to the ball. They've had 4 turnovers already this quarter.
So it's Indiana now. 9-point game. Hibbert with the screen. Here's George. They rule this one goaltended. Count the shot. And here's Rondo. Garnett inside. Hansbrough defending. Deflects the pass.
They haven't adjusted to the defensive intensity they're facing, and it's resulted in far too many turnovers here. I mean, just in this quarter alone, they've been throwing it all over the gym.
Rondo hits the reach-in call. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
George.
No good on the second free throw. And here's Boston. A 12-point game. Allen against Granger. Behind the arc. Ray Allen, and that's good. Allen's got 15 points.
For a player of his skill, it's going to take a lot better defense than that.
Fans of the Celtics, they built such a rapport with their franchise. Each generation, it seems, to grow, and Boston now is a veteran team. You know, frankly, though, one of the older teams in the NBA.
Absolutely, Kevin, and there were a lot of questions about if their window might be passed or closing. I think the way they played in May answered all of those questions, though. They still are a championship caliber team and can turn it on when they need to.
Now here's Rondo, picked up by Collison. Garnett left side. Pierce inside the three-point line. The shot is off. Granger with the defensive effort.
He's really struggled to get into any kind of comfortable flow here. 0 points this quarter, and he really doesn't look like himself out there.
Set up, set up. I'm open right here.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
At the line.
And Indiana has possession, leading by 12. He dumps it off. Good if it goes, and no good trying to get that one.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Pacers out in front, up by 12.
It's the HP Halftime Report. I'm your host, Damon Bruce. Out in Boston, we got a lopsided game through 2. Indiana with the lead against Boston. I don't think that they can play any better. They're shellacking a more talented...
Hi, and welcome back, everyone. In the first half, a one-sided game. We'll see if it gets any closer as play continues. And it's the Celtics with the ball, down by 12. Garnett and Perkins in the middle. Ray Allen, Paul Pierce on the wings, and Rondo. That's the Boston 5. Back to Garnett. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Garnett's got his first points in this one. Kevin Garnett, the big-ticket KG Clark, where do you start on his list of accomplishments?
Well, I think knowing how competitive he is, Kevin, I'm sure if you ask him, he'd start with the championship. He's a surefire Hall of Famer, 04 MVP, 13-time NBA All-Star, first ballot Hall of Famer.
What a heart, huh?
Yep.
He better get going. And the turnover by Boston.
That was an ugly possession. They were out of sync completely, and the ball just sailed out of bounds.
Outside Collison. He's picked up by Rondo. Here's Hibbert. Gets the whistle, and he'll go to the line. That one on Perkins.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. You got to stop the layup there. Make him earn his points from the line.
The first one falls. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here comes Paul Pierce. The Pacers finished last season at 32-50, not really in the playoff mix as the season wrapped up.
No, it was over fairly early for the Pacers as far as the playoffs go, and they did a little better against the Eastern Conference opponents, however, 23-29.
Kicks it out to Granger. Jacks up the triple. That's good. Granger's got 6 points.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
Collison against Rondo. Over George. The shot by Pierce will not go. And Clark, how do the Pacers snap out of their current rut? I mean, they're not terrible, but they're certainly not good.
Well, they've had injury problems, much like the Rockets. Key players out. Mike Dunleavy was hurt. Tyler Hansbrough, a promising first-round draft choice, missed most of the season. They need everybody healthy, and they need Danny Granger to continue to play like an all-star.
Allen for 3. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Kevin, they've got the edge here in rebounding. They're doing a good job of blocking out and then pursuing the basketball. That's good fundamental action.
Here's George. Can't hit, and the Celtics go with it the other way. And Granger picks him up defensively. Perkins on top. It's tipped. Here's Indiana now. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And it's the Celtics with the ball. 15-point game. Allen for 3. Kept alive. A second chance effort.
They can't do anything right. They can't even keep the ball in play. This game is getting very ugly and sloppy.
Here's Collison. 15-point game. George, defended by Allen. On the wing, Granger. Pierce covering. Just 4 to shoot. They couldn't beat the buzzer. That's a turnover.
Celtics ball.
A difficult situation for Boston. Down by 15. Perkins with a screen on Collison. Garnett backing down with the fadeaway. Boston again missing.
Well, he faded away on it for no good reason. He shouldn't have made that shot harder than it had to be.
Clark, a lot of people felt that Kevin Garnett was getting too old for the Celtics to make it back to the finals.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, that's understandable. But he and the Celtics seemed to get healthy just in time for the playoffs, and I think that made all of the difference.
The Celtics get the tip. Here's George. Drains it from short range. 17 points in the game.
Well, he's playing a well-rounded game, and he's really helped them in a number of ways.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Making a switch here are the Celtics. Scalabrini's checked in. Here's Allen. 15 points in the game. How much do you think Clark Garnett's persona as a player has influenced this Celtics team?
Kevin, that's been a big factor. I mean, you think about the Celtics, how they dominated the Cavs and the Magic with defense, focus, toughness, and the will to win. A lot of that you have to attribute to Kevin Garnett.
The Celtics on offense. Rondo kicks to Pierce. Over Collison. Boston again missing.
They're putting bodies on bodies and cleaning up the misses.
Yeah, they're winning definitely the inside matchup right now. Rondo kicks to Pierce. Goes up. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Pierce has got 5 now. Here comes Darren Collison. Left side Collison. Now Garnett defending.
I see him.
3 on the clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Hansbrough misses.
That's his job. That's what he does. He clamped down on the shooter. He's one tough defender.
Let's go with the 3. Hansbrough snatches the rebound. So it's Indiana now. Rondo is tagged with the reach. That's foul number 2 for him. And Indiana has possession. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half.
He has almost supernatural bouncing ability. He can bounce right out of the building.
Only a handful of players have that kind of athleticism, Clark. Buzzer sounds in a double-digit game as we end the third quarter. And it's more. And the final period of play just about to start. Here's Collison. On the court right now for the Pacers. Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Tyler Hansbrough out there with Roy Hibbert and Collison.
He's not normally a prolific scorer, but he's giving them a big lift in this one.
Rondo kicks to Pierce. A missed three.
The defense hasn't let him get too many clean looks in this game. He's having trouble getting it done at the offensive end here, and I think you've got to credit the defense. What passion for the game. They're putting on a clinic out there.
Ray Allen is on the wing. Leads him with the pass.
Boy, he can produce some rim rattlers, Kevin. This guy can fly.
Well, the whole building, Clark, knows what's going to happen when he goes up. Oh!
Good execution on the break leads to the nice bucket.
Here comes Rajon Rondo.
No.
Scalabrini backs in.
Come here.
The shot is off, and it's the Pacers taking it the other way.
You know, Kevin, all these rebounds allow them to attack the defense before they have a chance to get back and set up on deep.
Here's Hibbert. Can't make the open shot. And here's Boston. Fades away. Allen's shot is off.
I think he's really starting to lose confidence in his shot. Those misses are getting to him.
George, defended by Allen. Got a piece of it. It stays here.
They switched to a 2-3 zone. The goal is to protect the middle.
So it's Indiana now. Takes it up, hangs and hits. He's got 27.
Well, he's really been big for their team, finding a way to consistently get it done on the scoreboard.
Pass to Garnett. The shot misses, and it's the Pacers taking it the other way.
Get the perimeter.
Here's George.
Fourth quarter with a double-digit lead, it doesn't get much better than that.
Now Rondo. Pass to Allen. Pulls up from the elbow. It's the kind roll off the front of the rim. He's shooting 33% from downtown. From deep. And it's Paul Pierce with the rebound. And here are the Celtics now. From downtown. Kept alive. It's tipped.
And Kev, that's only his first giveaway for the game.
Hansbrough with the ball. Fires top of the key. Scalabrini on the rebound. And here's Pierce. He hits it from the low post.
Watch outside.
George. Pierce covering. Here is Hansbrough. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Pierce against Hibbert.
He's normally pretty accurate around the rim, but he couldn't make the layup that time.
Get outside.
Here's George. No good. So Boston will take it the other way. Picked up by Collison. Granger against Pierce. And a foul call. Almost got it to go in, but he'll go to the line for two. They get Danny Granger.
First personal foul, team's first.
And the first one drops.
Shooting for Boston. Paul Pierce. Taking 2 shots.
And so he makes both from the line. So it's Indiana now. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead.
Shoot that. Shoot it. Come to me there.
Hansbrough inside, working on Garnett.
They're leading by double digits, and I'd say this game is essentially done.
Here's Allen. Allen right side, and the layup is good. Allen's got 19 points. Here's Collison. 35 seconds left to the fourth. Here's George. Scooped up. He's covered by Rondo. Rondo is whistled for reaching in, and that'll be his third foul so far.
That's his third personal.
Boston on D, trailing by 19. No good on the quick shot.
Under a minute to go, and the game is all but over. He knew exactly where the ball was going and got a hand on it.
It's rebounded by Kevin Garnett.
Again and again, here he is launching away from deep with not anything to show for it. He's got to stop settling for the outside shot and get it to the rim.
So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Well, that'll do it for us. For Clark Kellogg and Doris Burke, Kevin Harlan saying so long. And as we end the game, we bring you our Jordan Brand Player of the Game.